The entire purpose of yoga. By yoga, we can rise out of falsehood into truth, out of weakness into force, out of pain and grief into bliss, out of bondage into freedom, out of death into immortality, out of darkness into light, out of confusion into purity, out of imperfection into perfection, out of self-division into unity, out of Maya into God. All other utilization of yoga is for special and fragmentary advantages, not always worth pursuing. Only that which aims at possessing the fullness of God is Purna Yoga. The sadhaka of the divine perfection is the Purna Yogi. Our aim must be to be perfect as God in His being and bliss is perfect, pure as He is pure, blissful as He is blissful, and when we are ourselves Siddha in the Purna Yoga, to bring all mankind to the same divine perfection. It does not matter if for the present we fall short of our aim, so long as we give ourselves wholeheartedly to the attempt, and by living constantly in it and for it, move forward even 2 inches upon the road. Even that will help to lead humanity out of the struggle and twilight in which it now dwells, into the luminous joy which God intends for us. But whatever our immediate success, our unvarying aim must be to perform the whole journey and not lie down content in any wayside stage or imperfect resting place. All yoga, which takes you entirely away from the world, is a high but narrow specialization of divine tapasya. God in His perfection embraces everything. You also must become all-embracing. God in His ultimate existence, beyond all manifestation and all knowledge, is the absolute Parabrahman. In relation to the world, He is that which transcends all universal existence, while regarding it or in turning away from it. He is that which contains and upholds the universe. He is that which becomes the universe, and He is the universe and everything which it contains. He is also absolute and supreme personality, playing in the universe and as the universe. In the universe, He appears to be its soul and Lord. As the universe, He appears to be the motion or process of the wheel of the Lord, and to become all the subjective and objective results of the motion. All the states of the Brahman, the transcendent, the continent, the universal, the individual, are informed and sustained by the Divine Personality. He is both the existent and the state of existence. We call the state of existence the impersonal Brahman, the existent, the personal Brahman. There is no difference between them except to the play of our consciousness. For every impersonal state depends upon a manifest or secret personality, and can reveal the personality which it holds and veils, and every personality attaches to itself and can plunge itself into an impersonal existence. This they can do because personality and impersonality are merely different states of self consciousness in one absolute being. Philosophies and religions dispute about the priority of different aspects of God, and different yogins, rishis, and saints have preferred this or that philosophy or religion. Our business is not to dispute about any of them, but to realize and become all of them, not to follow after any aspect to the exclusion of the rest, but to embrace God in all his aspects and beyond aspect. God, descending into the world in various forms, has consummated on this earth the mental and bodily form which we call humanity. He has manifested in the world through the play of all-governing soul with its own formative will or Shakti, a rhythm of existence, of which matter is the lowest term and pure being the highest. Mind and life stand upon matter, that is manas and prana on annam, and make the lower half of world existence, that is aparardha. Pure consciousness and pure bliss proceed out of pure being, that is Chit and Ananda out of Sat, and make the upper half of world existence. Pure idea, that is Vijnana, stands as the link between the two. These seven principles or terms of existence are the basis of the sevenfold world of the Puranas, that is Satyaloka, Tapas, Jnana, Mahar, Swar, Vuvar, and Vur. The lower hemisphere in this arrangement of consciousness consists of the three varities of the Veda: Vur, Vuva, Swar. They are the states of consciousness in which the principles of the upper world are expressed or try to express themselves under different conditions. Pure in their own homes, they are in this foreign country subject to perverse, impure, and disturbing combinations and workings. The ultimate object of life is to get rid of the perversity, impurity, and disturbance and express them perfectly in these other conditions. Your life on this earth is a divine poem that you are translating into earthly language, or a strain of music which you are rendering into words. Being in Sat is one in multiplicity, one that regards its multiplicity without being lost or confused in it, and multiplicity that knows itself as one without losing the power of multiple play in the universe. Under the conditions of mind, life, and body, Ahankara is born. The subjective or objective form of consciousness is falsely taken for self-existent being, the body for an independent reality, and the ego for an independent personality. The one loses itself in us in its multiplicity, and when it recovers its unity, finds it difficult, owing to the nature of mind, to preserve its play of multiplicity. Therefore, when we are absorbed in the world, we miss God in Himself. When we seek God, we miss him in the world. Our business is to break down and dissolve the mental ego and get back to our divine unity without losing our power of individual and multiple existence in the universe. Consciousness in Chit is luminous, free, illimitable, and effective. That which it is aware of as Chit, that is Jnana Shakti, it fulfills infallibly as Tapas, that is Kriya Shakti. For Jnana Shakti is only the stable and comprehensive, Kriya Shakti only the emotional and intensive form of oneself luminous conscious being. They are one power of conscious force of God, Chit Shakti of Satpurusha. But in the lower hemisphere, under the conditions of mind, life, and body, the luminousness becomes divided and broken up into uneven rays. The freedom trammeled by egoism and unequal forms. The effectiveness veiled by the uneven play of forces. We have, therefore, states of consciousness, non-consciousness, and false consciousness, knowledge and ignorance and false knowledge, effective force and inertia, and ineffective force. Our business is by renouncing our divided and unequal individual force of action and thought into the one, undivided universal Chit Shakti of Kali, to replace our egoistic activities by the play in our body of the universal Kali, and thus exchange blindness and ignorance for knowledge and ineffective human strength for the divine effective force. Delight in Ananda is pure, unmixed, one, and yet multitudinous. Under the conditions of mind, life, and body, it becomes divided, limited, confused, and misdirected, and owing to shocks of unequal forces and uneven distribution of Ananda, subject to the duality of positive and negative movements, grief and joy, pain and pleasure. Our business is to dissolve these dualities by breaking down their cause and plunge ourselves into the ocean of divine bliss, one, multitudinous, evenly distributed, which takes delight from all things and recoils painfully from none. In brief, we have to replace dualities by unity, egoism by divine consciousness, ignorance by divine wisdom, thought by divine knowledge, weakness, struggle, and effort by self-contented divine force, pain and false pleasure by divine bliss. This is called in the language of Christ, bringing down the kingdom of heaven on earth, or in modern language, realizing and effectuating God in the world. Humanity is, upon earth, the form of life chosen for this human aspiration and divine accomplishment. All other forms of life either do not need it or are ordinarily incapable of it unless they change into humanity. The divine fullness is therefore the sole real aim of humanity. It has to be effected in the individual in order that it may be effected in the race. Humanity is a mental existence in a living body. Its basis is matter, its center and instrument, mind, and its medium, life. This is the condition of average or natural humanity. In every human being, there is concealed the four higher principles. Mahas, pure ideality in Vijnana, is not a Vyahriti, but the source of the Vyahritis, the bank upon which mental, vital, and bodily action draw and turn its large and infinite wealth into small coin of the lower existence. Vijnana, being the link between the divine state and the human animal, is the door of escape for man into the supernatural or divine humanity. Inferior mankind gravitates downward from mind towards life and body. Average mankind dwells constant in mind, limited by and looking towards life and body. Superior mankind levitates upward, either to idealized mentality or to pure idea, direct truth of knowledge, and spontaneous truth of existence. Supreme mankind rises to divine beatitude, and from that level either goes upward to pure Sat and Parabrahman, or remains to beatify its lower members and raise to divinity in itself and others this human existence. The man who dwells in the higher or divine and now hidden hemisphere of his consciousness, having rent the veil, is the true Superman and the last product of that progressive self-manifestation of God in world, spirit out of matter, which is now called the principle of evolution. To rise into divine existence, force, light and bliss, and recast in that mold all mundane existence, is the supreme aspiration of religion and the complete practical aim of yoga. The aim is to realize God in the universe, but it cannot be done without realizing God transcendent of the universe.